Okay, so you guys already know what the video is about. Let's not waste any more time. I'm just gonna go in. The RNG for the 4 turns to happen is absolutely disgusting. So I'm just gonna do a few blitz, and when I get the 4 turns, I'll show you the run. Also, there's a bug with NARMER right now. His divinate is hella weird. When I'm doing this testing, I've noticed like a few bugs. It's not just one bug. It's like 3 different bugs with NARMER. So hopefully I can capture that. And also, if I don't get the 4 turns in this video, I'm just going to show you the 4 turns that I got in my old clip. The RNG is absolutely disgusting because of NARMER's divinate. I need for a bunch of things to happen, and also because of Fusi as well. You already saw Fusi is in the team, and the reason for that is because he applies the attack up without getting his turn. This team can also pretty reliably clear APEP, as you can see, but the turn range is very big. It's between 4 turns. 4 turns is super unlikely to happen, but it can happen. But 5 turns, there we go, 4 turns. Okay, alright, so the first thing that I need to happen is for NARMER to proc his divinate on all 3 phases, all 3 waves. I'm gonna do it at 1 time speed. So as you can see, my NARMER did proc his divinate. Since my NARMER is only divinate 1, he has only a 50% chance to proc his divinate, which gives him attack buff. It doesn't matter whether he gets the attack buff from Fusi or not. He needs to proc it on this first wave, second wave, and third wave. So in this wave, he kills off everyone. And then in the second wave, you also need to proc the divinate on NARMER. See, my NARMER did proc his divinate. He has 1 turn of attack out. And the reason why is because his divinate right now is bugged to where if you proc it on the previous wave and you proc it on the next wave, it stacks, which means it doesn't stack multiplicatively. It stacks, I think, additively. I haven't done the math, but without proccing it on the first wave, I've noticed that my NARMER doesn't one-shot the second wave, even if I have like 12 stacks on him and an attack buff from Fusi, because he's not stacking additively from the attack buff. So what I mean stacking additively is that from the previous attack buff that he got a plus 40% attack, right? And then from this wave right here that he procced the divinate, he got another plus 40% attack. So right now, NARMER actually has a plus times 1.8 times attack from the attack buff alone. And you'll see, he's going to do insane amounts of damage. If you have an R4 NARMER or an R6 NARMER, is super easy to get 4 turns. If you have an R4 NARMER, then it's going to be a lot easier because he's going to be doing more damage. Then you can one-shot the second wave without this thingy, without this bug. But there we go. He doesn't need the attack buff from Fusi if he procs the stuff. He's gonna do 72,000, and then I also need him to proc the divinate on this third wave as well, and you'll see that his damage is pretty insane. So right here, I need my Brewster to also proc the attack buff. There we go, he got the attack buff from the pursuit and also defense break. And I need my Steward to proc an attack buff from his first S3 cast. And there we go, that's the 4 turns. I'll show you again at the end of the video without me talking and rambling. But I'm going to show you what the bug is on NARMER. That's the first bug that I'm going to tell you. And the first bug, like I said, if you proc the divinate on the first wave or the previous wave, it stacks additively. So as you go on to the wave, I don't know if this goes for higher divinate NARMER, but it does happen for lower divinate NARMER. So if you proc it on the first wave, that's 1 proc of the divinate. That's going to give you times 1.4 times attack. And then when you proc it on the second wave, that's also going to give you an additional plus 40% attack. So he already has a times 1.8 times multiplier. And then when you go into the third wave, I don't know if it goes up to plus 120% or it stays at 1.8 times. I haven't done the math, but it retains at least 1.8 times multiplier for the attack buff, and that's why he does a lot of damage. Again, if you have a higher resonance number and higher divinate number, this is going to be way easier for you. There's also a team for Sachiko, but this time around I'm going to run this guy. Sachiko is a bit heavy on NARMER's divinate and resonance as well, so that doesn't work for me. And you also need like maxed out steelwood for that to happen. My steelwood is not maxed out. So the first clip I'm going to show you right here is that when he doesn't proc his divinate on the first wave, and when I go into the second wave, and even if I proc his divinate on the second wave and I get the crit damage buff, I still don't one shot. Yeah, that's the bug right there. Because I didn't proc it on the first wave, I didn't get the additional attack that I would have gotten from the from moving to second wave. There's another bug with NARMER that I'm going to show you. His divinate is not the ordinary attack buff multiplier. Okay, what I'm going to show you right here is NARMER, when he procs his divinate without attack lead, he's going to do the exact same damage. So there we go, he proc the divinate. Now I have 12 stacks on it on NARMER. Check out this damage on the guy on the front. He has attack up, he has 12 stacks. Okay, check out this damage, right? 135065. 135065. Remember that number, right? Okay, so if I were to run an attack buffer, it is going to be the same, or is it? Let's check it out. Actually, I haven't tested this out. This time he didn't proc the divinate, and we'll check out his damage. This is without the attack lead. It should be the same. 135065. How much is he doing now? Same, right? 135065. Now if I were to do this, like this, now you take a look at his damage. Okay, he didn't proc the divinate, but I'm gonna show you that when I give it, this is just the base damage. This is with attack buff, without his divinate, 142874. Okay, remember that number. Now I'm going to only proc his divinate without an attack buffer. So the only attack buff that he's going to get is from his divinate. Now you'll see that his damage is going to be a little bit different from 142874. Okay, he did proc the divinate right here. He's gonna have 12 stacks. He should be doing 142874, but instead he does 140 something something something. And the reason is because he procs his passive, his divinate, at the start of combat. What that means is whatever Sachiko attack lead that she provides isn't accounted for the attack buff. So I'll show you how the damage calculation works. I'll put it up on the screen, but basically what you need to know is that the attack buff is a flat 1.4 times multiplier to your total attack. It is not just your base attack or your additional attack, it is your total attack. Your total attack means that your attack lead times your base attack, and then that number that you get is then added into your base attack plus your base additional attack, and then this total attack is then multiplied by your attack number, attack buff. But instead what happens here is that when you enter the combat, NARMER actually gives the divinate effect first, which means he's not multiplying the effects of the attack captain ability by 1.4 times. Let's see how much I'm missing, right? The attack lead that we get is a flat multiplier to your base attack. Oh my god, I can't even click on anything. Okay, so 1332 times 24%. So this is what I would get from the Sachiko's attack lead, right? 319. And then I add this 319 to my base attack of 1322 plus 4196 5847, and then I times this with attack buff, which is 1.4. This is what I would get if I did not proc NARMER's divinate. Okay, this is what I would get. This is what my total attack would be with attack buff if I did not proc NARMER's divinate. Now let's check if I did proc NARMER's divinate, what would it be? So what I need to do to calculate what his attack would be without with proccing his divinate is I need to take his base attack plus his additional attack. What I get right here, I times it by 1.4. Boom. And I get this number, right? And then after I got this number right here, I take this number and then I add it to 319.68. The reason is because this is what the additional attack that I get from the attack lead. So I plus 319.68. This is what my total attack would be if I procced NARMER's divinate, and that's why you see his damage being lower as opposed to getting an attack buff instead of proccing his divinate. Let's compare the two numbers. This is with proccing divinate 8058 and with attack lead as well, and then without proccing his divinate, this is what I will get. You see the difference? That's quite a big difference. So let's try to minus it. I have 128 less attack if I were to proc his divinate with an attack lead, and this is only 24% attack lead. If I were to have a 40% attack lead, this number would be even bigger. So yeah, Lilith fixed this bug right now. His divinate is weaker because it procs even before the attack lead procs, so that's why he's doing less damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you the run one more time, this time with less pausing and less talking as well. You can run this team if you have a higher resonance NARMER. It's going to be way easier. If you have an R6 NARMER, then you don't really need to rely on the bug as much. So because R6 NARMER is going to cost the S3 twice, so you can easily clear the second wave even without one-shotting them. And then in the boss stages, NARMER is also going to be doing a lot more damage, and if you have a D3 NARMER, proccing the divinate is going to be 100% time, which means you're going to clear the waves easier, and also you're going to do more damage on the boss phase. And that's it for the team. Oh, I forgot to show you the runes. This is Brewster's runes. He's on crit damage, attack, and attack on the brawler set. At least 55% crit rate, so that he can get 100% on the boss. That's all you need. And then NARMER is on Thunder set, Light set. This is also pretty heavy on Relics. Most of these Relics are almost perfect. Some of them are pretty bad, but they're almost perfect. You also need like a plus 70% crit rate on him. Unless you're running Sachiko, then Sachiko, if you're running Sachiko, then you don't need as high crit rate on him. But since I'm not running Sachiko, he needs plus 70%. Otherwise, he doesn't one-shot the 2 adds in the front because you might miss crit. And then Stewart is on also Thunder set, Fiery. Give him as much damage as possible. Lastly, Feng Shun. This is just a backup. He doesn't need to move, but I want to make it more consistent to clear, and that's why I have runes on him. The turn ordering is going to be NARMER. You need at least 130 speed on NARMER so that he can move before the boss takes a turn. And since you have Light set on him, the Light set will push your entire team by 10% and give them the turn. And then the next turn is going to be on Stewart, and then Brewster if you really need to, and then lastly Feng Shun. Yeah, that's about it. Lilith fix this NARMER bug, and yeah, ciao.